Here we go, guys. Good weekend. Today is November 5th, and this video is to talk about my recent visit to my gynecologist. Um, Today, first and foremost, I am on cycle day 11, and yeah, nothing happened. So, anyway, it's water under the bridge. So, I made a video not too long ago talking about my first visit to my gynecologist, and I was not impressed. And to tell you the truth, it's not her fault. It's not because the way she was or the way she treated me. It's just my own fault because I found out she was just started practicing medicine, and she just finished her residency last June. And I felt a little bit scared because I thought, oh my God, I want somebody with more experience to cut me open, to do anything they have to do with those fibroids. I felt scared because I have read so many bad things about removal of fibroids, and it is a procedure that has a lot of risks, and you want to have a doctor that has done it before. I mean, I I'm sorry to say it, but the more experience, the better. So I went on Thursday, and to tell you the truth, I feel much, much better than I felt the first time. So I went there for a good 30 to 35 minutes sitting and talking to her, and she made me feel so at ease, so comfortable talking. She let me be part of what's going on. It's not this is what I want you to do, this is what you should do. It's more about what would you like to do, why would you like to do this, and she just guided me with her knowledge. So she told me the first visit, she on my way out, she wanted me to go home and think about what I really want to do, because that day we had a pelvic examination. She saw that I had a polyp in my cervix, which I already knew because I had an ultrasound before. I know all that, but she couldn't take that polyp out because she said it was too big to take out in a consultation room. She would rather have it done in an operating room. So we didn't remove it. And she had a pap test done, and everything is good. I don't have anything right now. So she wanted me to go home and think really about removing the fibroid. She gave me the impression that first visit that she didn't want to remove the fibroid, because at that time I went with one thing only in my head. I want it out, and I didn't want to hear anything anybody else had to say because I wanted it out. So she told me that if I want to take it out because I want to conceive, or if I want to take it out because I think it's because of the fibroid I'm not getting pregnant, she told me that is not the case, because the fibroid would not stop me from getting pregnant. Remember, my other gynecologist told me the same thing. He told me the fibroid would not stop me from getting pregnant. And I read it too. They say when you have a fibroid would not stop you from conceiving, but the embryo might implant and you might have a miscarriage. But I didn't want to believe that. I also read, since I know where the fibroid is, it is in the lining of my uterus, and it does changes thing when you have it sitting in the lining of your uterus where the baby should implant. So that's the main reason why I want it out. If it was someplace else, I probably would have, think of, let it be. So she told me to think about it. So I came home. I talked to my husband about it, and I kept thinking about it. And every time I think about it, I say, okay, I want it out. I just want it out. So when I went on Thursday, she wanted to know what I really wanted to do. And before that, she told me um, that because of my age and what's going on with my husband, with the low motility, with everything else, she said to me, she doesn't want me to take the risk to remove the fibroid and then find out, it's not the reason we're not getting pregnant. And as we all know, with the removal of the fibroid, to have hysteroscopy or to have other things, there's a chance they can puncture your uterus and you can start bleeding, and they would have to remove your uterus altogether because of bleeding if they puncture your uterus. So it's big, 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 huge risks when you want to remove a fibroid. So I didn't get to see her until 6 weeks later because she wanted to have a report on everything that I have done over the past 2.5 years. And when we start to talk about everything, she clearly stated that, you've been trying for 2.5 years, so have never gotten pregnant, and you are 42 years old, your husband is no younger than you are, and my chances are very low. It's not news to me. I know about it, but hearing it, it puts everything into perspective. So anyway, so what we did on Thursday, we had another pelvic examination where she did a biopsy of the lining of my uterus to find out if I have cancer or anything like that, because you cannot go and remove fibroids and anything else inside of the uterus until you find out if there's an infection, if there's cancer or anything like that. You don't want to mess it up. So that's what we did. Since I started my period this cycle, I started my period on October 25th. Everything was fine, but I was in pain the whole 5 days. I never had that before. I would have cramps maybe the first day, half of the second day, but the pain will go away. This time I had pain. I was in pain the whole 5 days. It was really, really painful. And 3 days after my period stopped, I started spotting again, and I'm still spotting right here, right now. So she wanted to make sure that it's not cancer or some kind of endometriosis or anything like that. So we did have a pelvic examination where she went in and then have a sample of the tissue on my uterus and sent to the lab to find out if everything is good. So we're waiting to hear from them. And meanwhile, she had me to sign a consent form to go to the operation room where I will not have the fibroid removed. It's just to see what's going on really inside, if I have endometriosis, if I have some kind of infection, and to remove the the polyp. One thing I said to her, because when she looked inside and she did the biopsy, and I said to her, I think she said to me, when we go to the operation room, maybe if we can remove the fibroid, maybe we would, or we will check to see if I have a polyp. That's what she said. We'll check to see if you have some polyp too. I said, well, I do have a polyp on my cervix. You saw that last time I was here. She said, well, I look at it today, but it doesn't look like a polyp. It looks more like a fibroid. I thought, oh my God, what in the hell is going on? Having a fibroid in your cervix, No wonder why I've been struggling to conceive for the past 2.5 years. So she said she will remove that polyp slash fibroid on my cervix. She didn't want to do that in the office because she said I would bleed too much. She rather go in in an operation room to do that. So I'm here waiting to hear from them. They'll call me with an appointment and we can have that done. And she told me it will happen before Christmas. But she said she will go there not to remove the fibroid that I have in the lining of my uterus. She said she just wants to see really in depth what's going on in my uterus. Even if she can remove it, I'm not sure if she will, because I have to sign a consent form for this surgery to happen. Even though I already did, I signed one where she will remove the polyp, she will do another biopsy and all that. But she said to me, don't worry about having your uterus punctured, because it happens. That's the risks you have to take when you go into an operating room to remove fibroids in your uterus, because they can puncture your uterus, and once your uterus start bleeding, they can control it. They will have to remove your uterus. So because I had a biopsy on Thursday, and she said your uterus looks fine, and she said she had absolutely no problem to go in and to scrape the top of the lining for the biopsy. She said she already knows that she won't have a lot of problem to get into my uterus, because some people, I don't know, it's the position of the uterus makes it a little bit harder for doctors to operate to remove things. My uterus is tilted back. If I lie down on my back, my uterus flip back. So that's probably why it is, there's enough space to go in there to do whatever they have to do. When you have your uterus that's tilted forward, then it is much harder. So I'm hoping if we go there for that procedure, and if she finds out the fibroid in my lining is, where she can remove it, she can just remove it. So that is my story, guys. I am no further ahead, except that with the biopsy of my uterus to find out what's going on, if I have any cancer or anything like that. Why am I spotting so much, and why do I have pain? So hopefully it's nothing. I hope it's nothing. I have done many what do you call them, pap tests. I never had one that came back abnormal. Everything comes back normal. I just did one 2 months ago and everything was fine. So hopefully everything is good. So once I know the time I'll have my surgery, I'll definitely let you know. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully by next year I'll have an answer to my problems. Then I will make a video soon, because last night I sat and talked to my husband about what's going on, what we should do, and I will bring a video probably right after this one, just a 2-minute video to let you know what we talked about last night. Thanks. Bye.